right, guys, we are back with another report card. A lot of shows have just been disappointing.
Yep.
You know, guys, the number one kind of pet peeve of mine is whenever you have a show break up into parts and then both parts are pretty much like booty.
So, seems like this was we're going to start off with a highly anticipated show. We did watch the first season of this show and we really liked it, and the second season came out many months ago.
And we waited for all of it to come out so that we could just watch it all the way through, especially because people weren't even making it seem like the first part was even, or actually, no. We actually did watch the first part as they were coming out.
Yeah, we did.
They were okay.
It's still left on a cliffhanger thing, but we just finished the second half of this season.
The second half, we waited for all of them to come out because no one was really hyping it up anyway. Nothing.
Yeah, we did not
spoiled.
watch these week to week. So with that being said, here's going to be our thoughts. There's going to be a little bit, this one's different from others because this is the middle of a season of a show. This is just a season. So this is season 2 of Invincible. And oh my goodness, let's get straight into it. Do we want to address the things that we did not like or the things that we did
Well,
up
guys,
front?
just so you know, there will be spoilers if you haven't seen season 2, part 2, or really season 2 at all.
Or
It's
any
gonna
of
have
Invincible. This is a
spoilers.
spoiler for it, so if you don't want to get spoiled.
Definitely go watch the first season of Invincible and then watch second season. Clearly, one very much so outweighs the other. But, Invincible is something fresh, something new, so, you got to keep it up, right?
Yep.
I will say I disliked this second part of this. I disliked the second season a lot because I feel like they were trying to harp a lot on the relationships because of how that whole aspect of like him and his father was.
Yeah.
I did not like it.
So Amber and Mark, you didn't like how they were, or like we kind of like, what really kind of threw us off was how we get that you want to focus on Amber and Mark because you know that eventually they're not going to be together because she's
Well, we don't know that, and he keeps preying on their downfall.
I'm not really
going
preying on the
to.
downfall. I'm just saying, okay, if you're gonna shove it in our face so much that they're trying to be together, this season felt like it was dragging too long in that aspect versus other parts, because with the break happening in between this season, I damn near forgot who the enemy was. I forgot quite a bit of things of what were going on. But it took a minute to catch up when it came to like the main story, like who's the enemy of Invincible's like of this season, and I kind of
because honestly, sold the black guy. Like it's just weird how they had him.
Angstrom leaving.
But they could have really harped on more, which is us rewriting again. But they really could have harped on the black evil guy. Guys, the one with like the big head at the end.
Yeah, Angstrom, yeah.
So it's like they could have harped more on like his experiences with Mark, which they did to a certain extent, where it's like it's showing how evil he is in every universe, how he kills them so easily, how he's invincible and like other things. Like he's not Mark Grayson, he's literally like he's an asshole. Like he's invincible. It's him and his dad taking over the world.
He's a Viltrumite. He lives up to his Viltrumite.
So it's like at the end, whenever he's like trying to, it's like I wish they would have shown kind of his back and forth. Like this guy can't be nice, like Mark Grayson is invincible, and I know Invincible from different timelines and different realms. That is like horrible. And then it's just like, and then to me, I think what took me out of it the most, no one likes a wimp. Okay, you need to stand up. You need to stand up. Mark has, I know why, and I know what they're trying to get at. Like he doesn't want to be his father. This man has broken your mom's arm and has thrown your brother around like a rag doll.
Who? Angstrom? Yeah, when he
So,
in the final fight.
I'm sorry, but you don't even have to, honestly, and that's the thing too, Mark, you don't have to even kill him. But honestly, he'll always come back because he has those portals and stuff. But Mark, like, literally lift that man up.
You're invincible, my guy. You're a Viltrumite. Like, do you not see how strong your dad? Do you not see how strong your dad was when he was trying to show you how insignificant humans are to him, like the bugs?
Yeah,
but,
we are bugs.
Yeah, we are bugs. But it's just like Mark. Like, I get it. If you want to show the whole, he's a teenager who has superpowers, so he's trying to understand how not to give in to his emotional urges of just like, I can kill if I want to, because it's like essentially he knows he can because you're that powerful. But it's like, Mark, it shouldn't take Angstrom breaking your mother's arm to finally snap you into place of, I have to do anything I need to, including killing someone else to protect my family. and the ones I care about. Because you already showed that when the other Viltrumite woman, I forgot her name, but she was pretty cool. She came down and she almost tore off Amber's neck. But it shouldn't even. But it's like, oh, and you're trying to balance these two lives. But then what happened when that Viltrumite woman almost tore off her neck? You wouldn't have done anything. Everyone pretty much told that to him. If you notice that him or her and Angstrom said, hey, you know, you can try if you want to, but I'll do this before you can even, you know, come and get. Because it's like they know, they're like, you're not built like that. You really can't do anything if you really want to, even though you have these superpowers. You're just weak. It's all in the mind.
Yeah, it's just showing him. It's just showing me.
He's a weak-minded dude, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's just really weak, and it's just like I said, it's fine if you want to do that for one episode, maybe even two. Just show I don't want to be like my dad. I don't. But you did that already.
But you did that for the whole season.
That's
you
what
did
I'm
that for the whole first
You
season.
did that at the beginning of the first season. You did that a lot at the beginning of the second season. I think what made it even worse is the fact it wasn't like this season was just horrible. Oh my gosh, it was just all just a death.
Yeah. It's not like
but
it was
it's
an
like
absolute
how
waste
you
of
guys
time.
have split it up into two parts for me to wait and go and see these 4 episodes. It's like I don't care. Like I don't care about you and Amber, Adam, Eve. I don't care about your family either.
But let's say this though. Shout out to the Guardians of the Globe, or you know, Duplicate, and I forgot her other name. The girl who can shrink and become big again. I forgot her name.
No, it starts with a P.
And then also Rex as well. I think they were really good. Let's just say this: we think that the second season had stronger side stories because the main story, Mark's character, it's kind of like the side characters were way more engaging and important to me than Mark's main story. And maybe that's a testament because, you know, Omni-Man, he's not really in this season that much, except for the first half. He is in it for the first half, but the second half, when he's not as around as much, we're like, okay, maybe, you know, I don't know. I mean, watching this one, I was kind of like, Mark, you're not as important to this series as Omni-Man is. So when Omni-Man's not in this,
they didn't harp on the fact that like he was supposed to take on his dad's mission. Like they kind of just said it.
They really dropped that off.
Yeah, it's like they kind of said it at like one point. I think in both parts of the season at one point in an episode. But to me, it's like, let's go with the struggles of that. Let's see, like, you know, also have him maybe, and also I would understand if he feels this way whenever he has killed people in the past and he loses control. And then it's like I don't want to keep being that guy because I feel more of a Viltrumite, which is also what my father is. It's like you haven't even done anything bad to where you're just so worried about becoming your father to where it's like you wouldn't even squash a bug. Like,
yeah, you've just been scarred by what your dad
and also
did.
Get rid of the whole college thing. There's no point. You left. Like there was no point of college besides. But there was no point. But that would have never happened to William if Mark wasn't there.
That is true.
That's why it's like, to me, it's just like I just feel like there was no need for the college aspect. I feel like what they should have, because even guys, and then guess what? We get to see him go to college the first part of the second season, but then the second part, he's just like, oh, I'm gonna like stay and take care of my dad's like fucking bastard.
My brother, yeah.
Like that's what we're gonna do.
Alien
and
brother.
I had told him whenever I was like, I'm sorry y'all, I would not be able to bring my father, who has caused so much tumultuous trauma toward me and my mom, I'm not bringing his kid back that was made from a fucking ant. I'm not.
Wow, you
doing
really just
that.
shot on that entire race.
I'm
people.
not, because it's like you left me and my mom to go fuck. Like, no, like that's so disrespectful. Like the amount of disrespect it has to take. Like that's like, okay guys, imagine your dad leaves your mom, your parents are together, your dad leaves your mom, goes fuck somebody else, comes home, then literally has you come back with the kid? Huh?
It's crazy.
Huh? I'm lost. You lost me. You got me there, you lost me. Because no, I'm not doing that. And then plus, but they're some good people, because the mom was like, you know, like, this is your brother and like I can take care of him. But
she went through a lot. The mom went through so much.
The mom has the worst experiences.
Pretty much from the moment that she found out that Nolan pretty much just said like, your mom, she's like a pet to me. Pretty much ever since she heard that from him, her life has been an absolute mess, to the point to where she's getting her arm broken. But it does show her humanity to just take care of the son.
Another good side story though
Yeah.
too was like the guy Ron, is that his name?
Donald. It's Donald.
Well,
Oh, Donald and Cecil. Yeah, Cecil, the kind of like the government agent who runs the facility and kind of like he runs the Guardians of the Globe. Yeah, Donald, his right hand man.
How many times he's like come back to life. That was good too, and I wish we could have seen more. But I guess it was kind of trying to harp on like this has been going on. Like this is something that's reoccurring for Donald. So Donald, you might feel this way now, and then it also went in and tied it to what's his name, William.
William's
Yeah,
story
to like
when
how
William
he
returned.
is. But it does suck because I don't think William got the choice Donald did. Donald works for the government to where he was like, I don't want to know, I don't want to see, just bring me back, right?
Yeah, William. They
Whereas
kind of
William,
stitched them together and threw them
that
out
was sad,
there.
and my baby was having them nightmares.
Yeah, that was tough. Like I said, that was a good storyline that they had with the side, with kind of like the side quest, with the side story with it. I just think that the main story, it was kind of like I didn't care about Angstrom Levy when he came back at the end of the season. It was almost like, okay, we're just now getting to this, and meanwhile, I care way more about what happened to Duplicate and Rex and all them in that fight. That was also a very strong part of the season because that just randomly happened. Meanwhile, when we're watching Invincible try to balance, oh, I'm trying to be a normal person and also a superhero, the other Guardians of the Globe, they're literally out here looking like they're dying in just a fight with the Lizard King or whatnot. But that was entertaining. That was good because they kind of faked this out. Immortal, it was nice to see Immortal's character, go through his kind of like existential crisis of, I love this woman Duplicate, now she's dead, do I want to still try to lead the team? Cecil's falling apart trying to tell him how to lead the team. The Monster Girl, I guess her and the robot guy, those little side stories are all right. The Martian, which kind of, I mean, the Martian storyline was okay because of course we figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, like I said, it was.
And then now he's going to be a Martian again. If you notice, that's how they left the season off. Like that same astronaut dude just got taken over again by the Martian animal or the alien thing that took over them again. So I feel like that's just going to be like a running gag, or they got to keep beating that monster because they keep coming, which is fine. But you could have done way more with the portals. I don't know why we had just one episode of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, to me, I would have rather it resumed with him. So that's okay. Let's end him now. Unless you're gonna sprinkle him, sprinkle. Unless you're gonna have him just like kind of be a running kind of gag throughout all of it. But it was just like, to me, it's like end with Angstrom. End that storyline, have him see, like, and also keep showing us these, like, little timelines that he's going through. Like, keep showing us, like, how horrible it is. Because then it's like, oh, because then you could do that. If you sprinkle those in throughout, then we get to the final one. It's okay, is this the real one? What is he? Because then we'll know it's the real Mark. So it's like,
show his
oh,
process
okay.
throughout the episodes. Even if you wanted to do something like, this is me really rewriting it. If you wanted to not have them interact until the last episode, maybe every episode leading up to it, still have everything else as it is, right? All the other stories. But show us one of those other timelines where Angstrom gets killed by Mark. And show that it's like a nightmare for him, or that's something that eats away at him, and either end the episode or begin the episode or put it in the middle of each one. What's going on with Angstrom? Just like kind of how we, either do that, like kind of like what they did with Nolan in this one in the second half. They were like, okay, Nolan and Mark aren't going to see each other for a minute, but let's show you that he's getting his ass beat. They're trying to prepare him for execution and whatnot. Show us something that keeps us intrigued. You can't just throw Angstrom in the last two episodes like that. Like, oh, I found your mom and and your brother. It's just like, oh, and now you have to fight me. It's like, okay, but you didn't come across as a threat until just now. But I guess that shows that Mark didn't view him as much of a threat in the first place. But that's what happens, with supervillains. We just think overall this could have been, you just could have done a little bit more faster if you needed to. Like for us to wait, if we would have watched the whole thing from start to finish,
maybe it would have been a little bit better.
Maybe, but then also I feel like it still would have dragged.
No.
Wasn't that a shocker for, older version of Eve really came back and told him, yeah, I've always loved you. But good on Mark for not telling her in that moment, for not telling the young or the Eve that he knows in his universe. Like, oh, by the way, I kind of already know that you love me and whatnot. Yeah, like,
that
that's
been
funny.
So awkward. And then right then and there, she would have been like, just for that, I don't.
Yeah.
You gave me the ick and I'm running away. I'm never helping you again.
Ew, a man that knows the future, that gives me the ick.
Ew, you're a superhero? Too much. Insecure.
That's too much. No, but we think it's okay. I mean, anything
It
else?
was just like
yeah, it was okay.
the first one was great. Like I said, it had those elements that like it had a lot of elements of surprise, and then it also had like the gore and stuff. It showed like the meaning of who his dad was, the meaning of why he was here, things like that. But it was just the second season was Mark. You are not
Invincible
at all.
And Alan, but I like Alan. I like how Alan's like now super strong. Like I liked when he was fighting the Viltrumite woman, and then you could tell like he's like, oh okay, I don't, it doesn't hurt as much anymore. I do like that now, but we'll see. Oh, and of course, how do you feel about the ending of this one where Nolan is like, yeah, I think I miss my wife. How does that make you?
Which one? I don't care. I don't care, Nolan. I don't give a fuck. You called the woman that I love a pet, so I don't give a fuck.
Damn.
Nolan. I need to know.
Do you really think he misses her? Like how?
It's talking about the aunt. That's what I want to know. It's talking about the aunt. Is he talking about maybe someone else in a different universe? He probably has children all over. I don't know. So no. When you say her name, or when he says, "I miss my wife, Mark's mother," then I'll believe you, nigga. But until then, no.
He could have just said, I think I miss Debbie.
Exactly, but he didn't. So which wife are you talking about? Probably that Aunt Coochie. So
Right.
I don't give a fuck. No.
All right. But yeah, let us know what you guys think about it.
I do hope that his brother turns out to be evil and like literally tries to kill Mark.
Yep.
And actually kind of does.
Oh yeah. Let me ask you this. And then you guys can answer this too for us. What are you most looking forward to in the next season of Invincible?
Less relationships, more action.
Okay.
Like the first season had so much action in terms of like Nolan fighting others and like them fighting as a team. Also, Mark whenever he had to fight that big cat and stuff.
There's a lot of fighting. I think
there
every
was
other episode
a
had
lot.
fighting in
So
it. Yeah.
I like that kind of because it's like you guys are superheroes. There was really nothing about saving the civilians. Like there really wasn't any of that. It was just straight up like let's talk about everyone's relationship, how it affects us, and it's just like I don't care about that, and because that's not what I want from this. And in the first season, you never really did that. So, but also they're trying something different. You try something different, and also don't break it up. Just don't. Like,
yeah,
and if you
don't do
break it up, you need to give me like 6 episodes, break it up, and then do 6, and like make sure they're all bangers. Like,
you got to make sure that second half is stronger.
Yeah.
Because that first half, like looking back at it now, the first 4 episodes were. It wasn't anything jaw-dropping. I mean, it was like, wow, we do get to see Omni-Man again, and I didn't even think we get to see him for a whole season. You could have done a whole season.
And honestly, have that
him.
with him. They could have had him more with Alan. Like, it's
honestly, yeah. But let's just hope, yeah. Honestly, yeah. And then we got a little bit of the reveal of, Nolan's books. Him as a writer. That's actually him doing him writing the lore of the Viltrumites. But for me, I really hope we see more of the actual race of the Viltrumite people. I feel like we've only seen just a couple of them, and we've heard some stories. I hope we get to see like their planet, or maybe something like that. That'd be nice to see. And then
we do get to see their planet. That's where Nolan was.
Well, I mean, like he's on the ship. He's on their ship though. Like he's on their like prison ship thing. Like I want to see the actual planet that they're on. Like
it's probably nothing but them fighting.
I mean, that'd be nice to see at least. But yeah, let's just hope that the hype doesn't die down. Anything else you want to wrap it up with? I think that's all my thoughts on it, really.
No, Mark, stop being a bitch.
Alrighty then. Well, like we said, let us know what you think about Invincible Season 2. And hopefully next year they can do better. Let's do better, alright?